with Tracy in LA. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today, we have the beautiful Stephanie Law.
Thank you. Hi, Tracy.
I'm so excited to have Stephanie because we've been postponing this a lot.
Yeah, since November of last year.
Oh my gosh, was it really since November?
Yeah.
I'm really glad it ended up being now. I think it's a perfect time because life just got so crazy for both of us. Mm-hmm. You were out of town. I had a crazy job transition situation. The fires happened. So much stuff is going on. So I'm glad actually that we're doing it now. I think it's a good time.
Good timing.
And Stephanie and I just took Sarah Polednek. Is that how you say her last name? I just realized I never said it out loud, I don't think.
Polednak?
Polednak.
Yeah.
Sarah's class at Athletic Garage, which we both used to take all the time. Mm-hmm. And we both haven't been in a long time, right?
Yeah. This was my first class back since mid-November, so almost 2 months off.
Wow, which is probably same as me. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her, I know I haven't been to class in a while. She's like, I haven't been here in a while either. So we both got to have the joy of coming back. And our friend Talissa, who moved to Sacramento, she was back today just for the weekend. So it was just all the old people that we used to dance with.
Yeah,
that was really fun. Because we initially met, was this the class that we initially met in?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
We've taken some other Athletic Garage classes together, I think.
We've taken Sarah's ballet on Wednesdays, and I think Delaney's too.
Yeah. But this is the main one I usually see you in.
Yeah.
Stephanie's kind of quiet. I'm actually sort of, well, I don't know. Are you quiet in real life?
A lot of people, I had a friend tell me yesterday that I'm quiet at first when you first meet me, but when you meet me more, I'm louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that. That we're going to see what happens today on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you're quiet or not. In class, you seem quiet, but I always notice you because you tend to stand in the same place, and I'm usually sort of near you.
Yeah.
And you always dance really well.
Thank you.
You just catch my eye because you have good technique. But we never really talked that much except saying hi and, I guess, taking videos of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. We never, I don't really know you, off the stage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just can you get a video of me? And then I don't remember, one day I was just I want to ask Stephanie to be on my podcast. She's a good dancer. And sometimes I like to ask people who I know really well because I think it'll be fun. And sometimes I like to ask people who I don't know or who seem more mysterious or quiet because I'm let's get to know this person. I need to know her. So yeah, I was really grateful that you said yes, but then it was hard to make our schedules align. But it was really fun being back in Sarah's class. How did you feel about it?
I thought I was going to be a little bit more shaky just because it was my first class back in so long, but at school, when I'm not dancing, I do go to the gym, so it was it helped me feel a little bit more stable during this class, and I loved it. I think the music I was really feeling, and then the choreo too I loved.
Oh, yeah.
So that will be getting posted later.
Yeah. I'm Sarah's choreo, I missed it. It's really fun, and I like when she does some different kinds of things, just going to the floor. She's apologizing about going to the floor, but I love when we go to the floor in her class.
I do too, yeah.
It's really fun and, really pretty how she choreographs it. Yeah, and she always picks these really pretty songs that just, get me in my feels, even if I don't even know what it's about. I don't know what we were dancing to.
And she switches, for different weeks, she'll switch, she had one choreo during the summer. Towards the end, it was very, fierce and very, strong beats. But now, sometimes she'll have, more airy, more, elegant and flowy choreos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I do also like when she chooses the ones with, the stronger beats, and it has a little, I think that looks really cool when the class is, together. I think it's really neat. And then today, she did a new improv thing that I hadn't done in her class before, which was we went in partners and mirrored each other. One of us had to lead for a little bit and then the other one leads for a little bit, but you try to do the same mirrored movements as them across diagonally across the floor. How did you feel about that?
I loved it. I had a new partner, so we communicated with our eyes. I think when I was doing the movements, I would start off really quickly, and then I would start to slow down, and then she would know that would be her turn to take the lead. And so that was really fun. It was a new exercise, like you said, and I'm excited to do it again.
Yeah, I know it felt weird doing it, but when I was watching other people, I'm this actually looks pretty cool.
It does. It looks really cool, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to memorize any choreo. You're just
with your body.
Imitating them. It kind of works. So yeah, that was really, really fun and a good workout. And just, her part in the beginning where you just lay on the floor.
Always my favorite.
Move different parts of your body. when I very first started taking her class, like a long time ago, I was like, why are we doing this part for so long? And now I'm like, I love this part. It's so relaxing. I've just completely changed my mind about it.
Like, especially after a stressful week, and then you just get to the floor and you just start moving with your eyes closed, like you're not really thinking about anything other than your body. And I think that's really nice when you get here, and that's one of the first things that you do.
Yeah, she always has us do just like this kind of, not super long, but this sort of long improv section where we're just on the floor. Then we start moving at 10%, then you move at 20%, and you move at 30%, and then you're off the floor, like moving at 100%, and then she brings it back down, and then you're like back down to the floor. But half of it, your eyes are closed, and it's just like really relaxing how she leads it. She also has a really relaxing voice, so it just feels like very soothing. And yeah, after a rough week, you're like, oh, this is so nice. So that was a really fun class. But we want to learn more about Stephanie. So Stephanie, tell us, what does like a week of your life look like these days? A normal week. I know recently it's been crazy, but...
Yeah, so I'm actually a sophomore at college. I'm at LMU studying political science and African American studies. I hope to become a lawyer one day. But I've danced all my life. I've danced since I was 3. So I want to continue this art form. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. Like, the amazing people you meet, first of all, and then just getting your body moving and grooving everywhere.
Yeah.
But my typical week looks like going to class. I try to come back to Athletic Garage every Saturday just because I want to take a dance class. I'm not a dance major or a dance minor at school, which is unfortunate because LMU has a great dance program.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have that time in my schedule to be doing that. But we have different dance clubs at school. There's different dance groups that I would love to be a part of. So Monday through Thursday is typically when I'm in class. I'm in class at work from 9 to 3 p.m., I would say. And then after that, I would study, go to the gym, hang out with my friends, and then I will come back during the weekends to take a dance class like Sarah's, or if there's a sub, then I'll take Jermaine is his name.
Yeah, okay.
I will take his classes, and then Sunday night I'll go back to school, and then the week starts again.
Oh, wow. So when you're at school during the week, you're not really doing much dancing during that. You do the gym, but you're mostly just focused on school and studying. Okay, that makes sense because you're doing kind of a hard major. I thought that you were studying dance.
No, that's what Luis told me too. He thought I was a dance major, but I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so do you feel like that's enough dance for you? Like, just because you obviously love it, you're very good at it, you've done it your whole life, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but it's really just one day, usually.
Yeah. So in high school, I went to South Pass, and so I was dancing a lot during the week. I would dance before school, during school, after school. I think that would, like, during tech rehearsal, it would be 40 hours a week, I would say.
Whoa.
Yeah, so going from 40 and then going to just, like, 1 or 2 hours a week is not ideal, but I know that my career aspirations are to first and foremost become a lawyer, so I know I have to put that first.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to keep dance in my life moving forward and for the years to come, and so that's why I want to come back here and to take classes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like I've interviewed a couple of older people who were lawyers and now are more focused on dance.
Yeah.
So apparently that goes together for a lot of people that I've interviewed. Cool. Okay, so let's go back. You said you've been dancing since you were 3.
Yeah.
So did you grow up out here, or where did you grow up?
I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
So dance was not the only thing that I was put into when I was a kid. My mom put me into a bunch of different things. I was put into art class, taekwondo, piano lessons, all of that. But then when I got older, I slowly narrowed everything down just to dance so that I could focus on that and grow it as a person and as a dancer too.
Yeah. Was there a certain like age or grade where you started to feel like, I think dance is kind of my main thing?
I'd say in high school.
Oh, not till high school? Okay.
Yeah, not till high school because I was still taking violin lessons in middle school because it was like a requirement for our school. But in high school, I joined the dance program, and then from there, I delved not into ballet but into jazz and contemporary and modern and occasionally like K-pop. So I would be doing a lot of different genres of dance, and so that's kind of where my dance career has been going. Yeah.
So what was it like So your high school had a good dance program?
They did. It was
Okay.
wonderful, yeah.
So you did everything like through your high school. You didn't do it like at outside studios.
No, because
Okay.
we had, our program was so great. They would take outside instructors. So we had Mark Miranda from Elements Dance Space,
Oh,
and then we had
nice.
Megan Paradowski for contemporary. We had a lot of different, like, top-ranked choreographers come to our school to teach kids.
Oh, wow.
And some of the classes would be free, too. And so that was an amazing opportunity for me to expand dance.
Yeah, that's so cool. And did they have some of those classes like during the day, or was it all after school?
It would be after school.
Okay.
But when we were preparing for our shows, we would have them come during our dance class time, during our schedule, so that we could like clean the choreo, clean the piece, and
Okay.
yeah, get it together.
Okay. And tell me more about like your experience doing that in high school. Was it like a really fun experience where you got to make a lot of friends through that and just really grow your abilities, or was it really hard to do school and dance? Like how was that doing that in high school?
It was definitely a lot, I would say, especially senior year when I was applying to colleges, but I met so many incredible people from that program and so many people that are in the industry now. It was definitely worth it. I've definitely expanded my dance skills because I started off as a ballerina and I've slowly grown away from it.
Okay.
But I think time management was a huge thing when I was in high school, so it taught me a lot about that, taught me about discipline, continuing the art form, and taught me how to work with a team. And so there were a couple dance captains, and so I was also one of them too.
Oh, cool. Did you choreograph stuff?
So we had dance concerts, and so we had student choreographers, and so I choreographed like bits and pieces, but not a full dance. So it was a couple of us putting together a piece for the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of your favorite, or what was your favorite style in high school? Or did you have one?
I'd say it's always been like jazz or contemporary.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the director of the program was mainly focused on jazz, and so that was her style, and so that's where my love for jazz came. But I think since then, with the technique that I have from ballet, I think I'm more geared towards contemporary now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have a good ballet background if you like contemporary. That was when I first started pursuing dance like 6 or so years ago. I would watch contemporary classes and be like, oh, I could never take it because I don't know ballet. So I started taking ballet to have a good foundation to take contemporary and other classes. But then I ended up kind of falling in love with ballet by itself too, which I wasn't expecting.
It's
I thought
hard.
it was boring, but
It's so hard. Yeah, it's a really difficult art form, but it's so beautiful when executed. Yeah.
Once you get used to it, like in the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't understand any of this stuff. But then I started to just really appreciate the beauty of just even doing stuff at the bar, and then it is so nice to be able to apply it to contemporary and get better. And I see the difference of people that dance who have a really strong ballet background. I'm like, oh, that technique. Well, I see it in you. And I'm like, that technique, I just love it, and it inspires me. That's why I like dancing next to you, because I watch the videos and I'm like, okay, that's how Stephanie did that part.
Thank you.
It just like, it helps me grow. Or I'll be like, okay, we kind of look the same here. Okay, I need to work on this thing. Like,
I'm honored.
Okay, cool. So you did that in high school, and then, well, you're still so young.
Yeah.
Because you're only a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
And you went straight to college after high school?
I did.
Okay.
But I recently transferred into LMU last semester. So before that, I was at Fullerton also taking dance. It was part of my course schedule. But then I transferred into LMU, and I've been more focused on the majors that I'm taking.
Okay.
And so not really geared towards dance at school.
Do you think at some point you might take a dance class or two at school?
I definitely want to,
Okay.
just because the LMU is known for its dance program. So I want to be with those choreographers and like learn what they're teaching their kids.
Yeah. Maybe like once, I don't know, maybe there'll be a good semester where you're like, this is the semester I'm going to start doing some of that too. It's probably hard though.
Yeah.
To do all of that.
Yeah. But I love dance. I love going to school. I love academics. So I will make time for it.
Yeah. Do you have any like aspirations for dance later on in life? Like, are there certain, even though that's not like your main career you're focused on, are there certain, since you do want to keep it in your life, are there certain goals you have of things to do with it in the future?
Yeah, I've been looking to get into a company. I know my schedule is pretty tight with wanting to be a lawyer and wanting to also pursue dance, but I think being in a contemporary dance company like Loom Dance Collective,
Okay.
or the Klein Collective,
Yeah.
or just LA Contemporary Dance would be really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the just like full out pursuit of everything. Not everything, but like a couple of things that you really
Yeah.
care about.
So I
And
definitely want to continue my training at Athletic Garage and branch out to different studios and then probably audition from there and see where life takes me.
yeah. Have you tried any other studios besides Athletic Garage yet?
Yeah, in the past I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are there any other ones you like?
I've tried Ground Grooves.
Oh yeah.
It was more contemporary, like floor work based, and I really liked it because I think they started off as a company that wanted to help dancers that were injured get back into contemporary. I think that was like how their directors brought Ground Grooves
Oh,
to be.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think I read that on their website, but don't quote me
Nice.
on it.
Yeah.
But they're really floor work based, and it's really relaxing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a push when I'm there.
I've done it
Yeah.
a couple times, and yeah, it is a push, but I did get a little better. Some of the floor work, there's very specific type of moves that have different names and stuff, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And it was helping me, and I did go a couple times, and then I don't remember what happened or why I didn't go back. I think it just, their schedule was random at the time, and my schedule was weird. I don't know, but it is a cool place and a really good place for floor work, which helps so much with contemporary.
Yeah.
And I just love floor work. I am not perfect at it, but whenever teachers go to the floor, I'm like, yes. I don't know why. Everyone usually hates it, but I'm like, it's like a fun challenge, I think.
It is. It's all like in your hands too, and like not placing your hands correctly it can mess everything up too. So
That's
it
a good
teaches you how
point.
to like ground yourself, like literally ground yourself to the floor, and like just like moving and listening to your body, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. I feel like I don't think about that enough. I'm like, yeah, where are my hands? Where are my hands going today when in our floor work? I don't know. I'm going to have to watch the video and see. Cool. And maybe somehow dance and being a lawyer will somehow combine.
Yeah, I've had friends tell me that I'll be a lawyer by day and dancer by night. I want to follow through with that. I think I had someone say this to me once, but law is so black and white. Like it's very like
yeah.
you follow precedents, you follow the rules, but dance is so like colorful in a way.
Yeah.
Like you can move so unconventionally, but it all works out in the end. So I
Yeah.
think having law and dance be what I want to focus on is very interesting, and it's very definitely both careers are what I want to pursue.
Yeah, it like complements each other, like gives you an outlet since they're kind of different, or you maybe use different parts of your brain. This is sort of not a dance question, but what draws you to law?
I think there are a lot of injustices in the world, especially today. I actually didn't think of wanting to be an African American studies major or minor until I got to college, until I took a class on critical race theory. And I've
Okay.
heard so much backlash and like activism for that class. And after taking that class, I was like, that would be very applicable to everyone's lives. And I think it's very beneficial to take a course that's on something as important as that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do as a lawyer. Try to fix and solve many of the injustices that we see today.
That's so cool. When did you first start feeling like that's the direction you wanted to go? Was it in high school?
I would say like junior, senior year of high school. When I got to high school, I wanted to be a computer science major, which is definitely different from wanting to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And then from CS, I wanted to go into chemistry. But then after taking AP chemistry, that wasn't really my strong suit. And so I really found myself enjoying history and writing and reading. And so that's where my passion for law came about.
Nice. So cool. Okay, I'm going to ask you some dance questions.
Okay.
What am I going to ask you? Did you ever have a time when you felt like you were tired of dance?
Very briefly. But my love for dance has never gone away.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was why did you briefly feel that way?
I think it was just, I was very tired. Like my body was physically tired from going to class every single day, and it was a lot on my body. And so I had moments where I wanted to like take a break or like pause, but then ultimately I got rid of taking so many classes, and then I found the joy in wanting to dance again.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's just like we've just started to burn ourselves out a little bit. And it's
Yeah.
not that we don't like it. Because I've had that in my life where I feel like, do I not like this anymore? And then sometimes I just have to take like a few days or a week or a month and then take a break from it. And then I'm like, oh, then I go back and I'm like, oh no, I
Like you
still
want
love
to go
this.
back, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you start to like, it's a lot of work. So if you don't have joy in it or don't have a love for it, then I would say it's not worth it. It's a lot of
Yeah.
time and money and work to keep pursuing dance. So, but yeah, that's cool. Did you ever get injured from doing it so much?
I did. So I'm going through treatment right now for my
Oh.
knee. Yeah. So I hurt my knee senior year of high school from landing incorrectly,
Oh shoot.
doing a grand jeté.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, and so, but my school, they have athletic trainers, and so I've been getting treatment every week and
Okay.
doing PT.
Okay.
And so my knee has been slowly but surely healing.
Wow.
And so I'm banking on my knee to get better.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, the pain went away for about, I would say, a year. And then when I got back to school, I took off the brace. I wasn't wearing the brace when I was dancing either. And so the pain slowly started coming back. And so that's when I needed to get it checked out.
Dang. Did you have to take off dance for a while when that first happened?
I chose not to because when I hurt my knee initially, our show was the week after.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and we had tech rehearsal. We just had hours of rehearsal, as I was saying earlier, but I really didn't want to take a break from dance, and I didn't afterwards. And so I think that's what messed up my knee a little bit more.
Oh.
But now that I'm getting treatment, it's getting a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, I've only had one significant injury, but what I'm learning from others and from my own experience is it seems like when you first get injured, there is a period of time you should probably rest it.
Yeah.
But it also seems like you shouldn't rest it too long because you kind of have to keep it a little bit active, even if it is just through physical therapy or if it's going to dance class, but like modifying certain things until
Yeah.
it gets stronger. Because I didn't want to rest it, but I was told to rest it, and then I ended up resting it too long. And then I got a lot worse,
Yeah.
and then I tried to go back to class, and then everything hurt so bad that I thought I was like making it worse. But really, it just needed to like build the muscle and the bone again because I
Yeah.
rested too long, and I just didn't realize that. So
Yeah, I think when you rest any injured part for too long, the muscles start deteriorating, and so there's not as much strength
yeah,
as you would normally have. And so if you go from resting and then going right back into class,
Right.
it just messes it up even more.
yeah. And as a dancer, when you just like you want to dance so bad, kind of like what Sarah was talking about today, because she's like, a lot of us probably haven't danced in a little bit just because of everything going on and the holidays and everything. She was like, I know your ego like makes you want to kick your leg to your head.
Yeah.
She's like, but let's not do that today so we can just
Take it easy.
Take it easy, like ease back into it. I think that's really true. And like as a dancer, you just it's not even always ego. It's just like even I found myself one time I rented a space at Athletic Garage after like I felt like my injury was getting a little bit better. It was started in my foot. It was a toe fracture, but then it became other things. But I rented a room because I just wanted to like dance on my own in a big space and just like and take it easy and stay modified for what I can do and just play my music. And I just really wanted to do that. So I did it at Athletic Garage. But then as soon as I got in the room with my music, oh my gosh, I was not modifying anything. I was just like so happy. And
Just
I was
wanted
just
to go right
dancing
back
so much.
into
And
it.
then and I really hadn't been dancing because I've been resting it for so long. And my point of doing that was to modify for myself. But then the next day I was in so much pain and I felt so sad because I was like, oh my gosh, this means I can't like I can't dance yet. But I wasn't understanding that it wasn't a black and white thing. It was like you can, but just like you have to do it. You
In
have to ease back
moderation.
in. But I felt like, oh, since I'm in so much pain, I guess I can't dance. But it wasn't until I went to this specific physical therapist who was like, it's okay if you're in pain after you first dance when you haven't danced in a while, but like see if the pain goes away in a few days. And if it does, that's good. And then go to that class again the next week or try a different class the next week. And if you're in pain again the next day, also fine, but see if it goes away in a couple days. So she kind of gave me encouragement, like pain isn't always bad. Like it doesn't always mean you can't dance at all, you know? And then I started following her advice and then slowly I built to like 2 classes and then I did more and then I wasn't having as much pain the next day and I was like, oh, I'm building back the strength and the muscle,
you
and
had,
that's
yeah.
what I didn't understand. So now I feel less afraid of injury. Like after that happened, I was so afraid of injury. I was like, I don't want to make it worse. I don't want to get injured again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, okay, I don't want to get injured, but if I do, I feel like I have a much better understanding of like how to go about it, how to approach it, and like also almost every dancer gets injured. So I didn't
Yeah.
understand like that it was so normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a very rare situation when someone injures themselves enough that they like literally can never dance again or something.
Yeah.
That's like a kind of a rare situation. And even in those cases, I mean, people are dancing in wheelchairs now. They're dancing with their eyes. Like I'm like, have you ever like I've seen like eye choreography?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's always some way you could do something. I mean, it would be sad if you couldn't use every part of your body, but if you want to dance bad enough, I feel like you
When
could do
there's a will,
something.
there's a way.
You know?
Yeah.
Even you just being like, I'm going to be a lawyer and a dancer, and like, you know, your mind is like, why not?
Yeah.
Just
I mean, if
working
you love
hard.
it enough, then might as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like going back to the injury, I think with dancers and athletes in general, we're so worried about not being able to pursue the art or the sport that we want to after getting injured. And so I think right when we're healed, we automatically want to jump back in and like, I guess like prove to ourselves that we can, we're still at the level that we were before we got injured. But I think
Yeah.
it's important to take the time and listen to our body, because we really need to, especially if we're going through an injury or like we're recovering from an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Just like realizing you have your whole life. So it's okay. You don't have to like push so fast to have it like the same as you did before
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. You know, it's okay to build back. And I think it's really helpful once you're more supported in the dance community and you know more people. I think people just really come alongside and encourage you where you're at. And it's such a nice community in that way. So I think just really plugging yourself into and not being alone in it, like realizing other
there's
people have
support.
injuries, other people understand too, and like teachers understand, and a lot of teachers won't even ask you if you're like modifying or anything. They know there's probably something going on. There's, you know, so it's like, yeah, pretty awesome community here in LA of dancing, whatever you're going through in life or injuries. Hi everyone. So I wanted to tell you about my new book, The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010. This is my very first memoir. There will be more. It's not like a normal memoir where you're looking back on your life and reflecting on it and writing a book about it. It's more like a memoir in real time. So basically, when I very first moved to LA to pursue acting, which was in 2009, I decided I was going to write these like monthly newsletters where I sent out actual letters in the actual mail to a bunch of my friends every month to give them updates on what I was doing with acting and jobs and friendships and all kinds of things that I was going through my very first time ever living in LA. It ended up being pretty humorous, and so I've basically gone back and edited them so that I could publish them as a book. So that's what this is, and yeah, if you want to be entertained and have a good laugh, buy my book, or if you just want to help me pay my rent next month. Oh, and you can get it on Amazon. The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010 by Tracy Nicole. Nicole is my middle name. Also, there's a link in my Instagram bio. You can get it paperback or on Kindle. I want to ask you, what are your favorite foods to eat to fuel yourself for school and dance? Because you have so much going on. Are you like a snack person? Do you like to cook full meals? Like what? Because you live in a suite with a couple roommates. You were telling me earlier before the podcast. So yeah, what's your eating situation look like? Is that too personal?
No, definitely not. At school, because I'm in a suite, we actually don't get our own personal kitchen. That's only in the apartments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you have a dining hall situation.
I am.
Okay.
I am on a dining plan situation. For the one thing that I can't skip out on is having a cup of coffee.
Okay.
I've been trying to get away from the caffeine, and all of my friends know this, but I didn't succeed in this first week of school. I tried so hard to, but I couldn't. But I will typically have an omelet. They make omelets in the dining hall, and it's really great.
So nice.
I used to go to school on an empty stomach, like with no breakfast. Like I used to be a no breakfast type of person.
Okay.
But when I got to college, I was like, no, I cannot do this. and so I have to get some fuel in the morning
Oh,
before I
yeah.
go to class.
Oh, every time when I first wake up, I'm like starving. I don't know how people skip breakfast. Okay, but my question for you, because I don't drink coffee and I used to. So why do you care? Why are you trying to stop drinking coffee?
I've been trying because I've noticed that even though I am really reliant on the caffeine, like I feel like I get really jittery after having
Yeah.
caffeine, and so I've been noticing, I don't know if it was because of the air quality or because I was trying to hold back on caffeine, but I started getting headaches from not taking caffeine
Yeah.
or like not drinking coffee, and so I think because I'm also still really young, I don't really want to have that be a reoccurring problem, and so that's why I'm trying to stick to matcha, which still has caffeine but is a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
Or just teas in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To encourage you, I used to drink a lot of coffee. I used to work at Starbucks and I got lots of free drinks. So that did not help. And I worked there since I was like 16 through college.
Wow.
And yeah, all of a sudden coffee started affecting me really bad. Like I would drink it at like 6 in the morning, only 1 cup in college. And then at night, I could not fall asleep. And I was having so many sleep problems that I went to the doctor to be like, what is wrong with me? I actually got a sleep study done where I like laid in a room and they like hooked me up to all this stuff to figure out what was wrong with me. And they couldn't figure it out. And they told me the coffee shouldn't be a problem because I drank it at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to try not drinking this coffee at 6 in the morning. And so I didn't drink it. And then all my sleep problems went away. And then I read that certain people, it can stay in your system a really long time. And I also felt like I felt all the anxiety and the jitters afterwards, which didn't used to affect me as much, but I started to really notice that. And it also affected like my digestive system. And I also got headaches when I wasn't drinking it. So eventually I was like, you know what? I like my cup of coffee. I like my lattes, but all of these symptoms are like not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Like I miss it sometimes. Every once in a while I'll have something just because I'm like craving it. But then quickly after I have all the symptoms and I'm like, oh, this is why I don't do this.
How did you stop? Like, how did you get away from the coffee?
Okay, that's a good question. So what I usually tell people is I'm like, you have to take naps. You have to somehow, it's hard when you're in school and you have so much going on. But it was just kind of like you are really tired at first because you're not used to it. So you kind of just have to like I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap for 20 minutes. I'm just going to take so I used to say like taking naps was my version of coffee. I'm like, I would grab a coffee now. Instead, I'm going to just put my head down or even close my eyes for 5 or 10 minutes. Just like, because you do need to recognize that you're tired and so that you need to do something. Otherwise, like drinking water, eating good foods that just like, that's still fuel. So it's not the same as caffeine, but it's still something when you're tired, like eating an apple or eating like any kind of like healthy food. It is hard. It's just hard for a little while. Like reminding yourself it's not going to be that hard for the rest of your life to not drink hot.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I never need it, want it. I do drink hot water a lot because I do like the feeling of like, especially when I used to work in an office, it was like cold. So I'm like I want like a warm drink. I actually prefer hot water even to tea because I have a really sensitive stomach. And so even like the herbs in tea or even like matcha or something, it still bothers my like digestive system. I'm older than you. Like I didn't always used to do that. But eventually I was like, this doesn't really make me feel good. So I got really used to hot water and I actually almost think it tastes good now, which people are like, that's weird.
Going from coffee just to like hot water.
Yeah. Initially, I probably did drink tea initially a little bit, but eventually, yeah, I would always get my cups of hot water. In my old office where I used to work, I remember one of the girls was like, look, Tracy, I'm being you. I just got some hot water. People would like joke about it. But yeah, highly recommend. If coffee doesn't affect you, drink it. It tastes good. It didn't affect me for a while, so I'm not trying to like keep that from anyone. But if you do experience symptoms from coffee, I just want to encourage you that you can get past drinking coffee. You can have life without coffee, and I actually feel like I have more energy without coffee because it's become like I have a natural energy now, whereas coffee used to like take me up really high and then crash me. And now my energy's more like this. And I also don't really eat a lot of sugar except when I fall off the wagon sometimes. And so it keeps my energy more like this, whereas sugar does kind of similar things to me where it's like, and so
sugar crash,
Yeah, I have found my energy to be much better without I could talk about coffee for like 20 hours.
No, I've heard that about people gaining a lot more energy after they stop drinking coffee. Like, I've heard
Yeah.
it from a lot of people, and so I think this week I fell off a little bit, but when the stakes aren't as high, like when I'm not really too stressed about academics, I think
Yeah.
that's when I can actually start.
Yeah, like find a good time, because definitely when you're first starting, that's going to be the hardest time. So yeah, find a good time. They're like this week or this, because I really think it's only like a week or two before
You
you
get
won't
used to it.
notice it as much.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna pray for you that you can conquer it.
I will.
I love that goal.
I will.
Wait, but did you talk about what you like to? Oh, you like to have omelets. What's your favorite foods at the dining? I don't know. I know we're still talking about food, but I like talking about food. What's your favorite like thing to eat at school that they make besides breakfast stuff?
They have really good pizzas.
Man, I love
Really
pizza in
good
college
pizzas,
too.
yeah. We also have an on-campus diner called Iggy's, which is just a
Okay.
really sweet and cute spot to be at with your friends.
Aw,
But they have really good soft serve and milkshakes, I would say. So that's definitely a staple.
nice. Oh, you're bringing me back to my college days. I'm like, yeah, what did we have? We had the Red Room. That was like our little like cafe area where we go like late at night and get like pizza or drinks and stuff. But actually my school's dining hall, whatever it was called, I don't even know. It's been so long, but they had so much good food all the time, and I do miss it. And I always got pizza, and I always got breadsticks, and I don't know. It was just so nice to go into a room and be like, there's so many options, and I don't have to cook anything.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. And it's also really nice because, I mean, you're so busy, so it's like nice, of course, to
Yeah, you
just
don't
not
really
have to think
factor
about
the time.
that.
Yeah.
But
Factor the time into it.
well, probably your parents cooked for you before.
At home?
Yeah.
I would do some cooking. I mean, I'm in my family. I'm known for cooking good
Oh.
pasta.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that I'm really good at cooking, I would say. I'm trying to get into baking, but I used to be a pretty good baker with my mom over COVID.
Oh,
Like, we would
nice.
bake cakes together.
Oh, wow. That's cute.
Yeah, so, but I like, since going to college, we don't have our kitchen in our room, and
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Did you say, so will you have a kitchen like your junior or senior year?
I don't think so, because I'm applying to be an RA.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
so depending on where I get placed into, that'll determine if I have a kitchen or not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What draws you to apply to be the RA?
I'm someone that sticks up for like my community. I would say I really like
Nice.
helping my community in general, whether that be at school or whether that be in dance. And so I want to be on campus more often. So I think the RA position really suits me, and like I think my leadership experience in the past has really shaped me for this position.
Nice.
So I think going towards the RA route is my calling.
Very cool. I love learning all this stuff about you. I'm like, Stephanie's a cool person, like on
Thank
the
you.
inside. I love that. I was just curious because I had like no desire to be an RA.
It's a
I'm like,
really
what
tough
draws
job.
you? It just
Yeah.
seems hard. I did have good RAs, and they were really cool people. So it does take like a really cool special person to do it. But because I didn't go that route, like I had similar situation like freshman and sophomore year, I didn't have like my own kitchen or anything. But then junior and senior year, I had an apartment on campus and we had like a little kitchen. But I still went to the dining hall and stuff. But anyway, I'm like, you're bringing me back to college. I'm like having all these like memories now. Okay, let's see. Oh, how is like friendships in college with just like so much work to do? Do you feel like you ever have even time to hang out with anybody?
I do. I value my friendships a lot.
Okay.
Just anywhere, like I love my friends to death. Like I love them so much. So I will make time for them.
Nice.
Like when we need to hang out or get coffee or just to talk with them or to give advice, like I will be there.
Nice.
friends, yeah.
Did you now your current friends? Did you meet a lot of them going at college, or are they people you knew from dance or people earlier in your life?
My current friendships are from all different aspects of my
Okay.
life. A lot of them are from high school, obviously. But since my first semester at LMU, I've met so many incredible people, and so I hang out with a lot of my friends at school or like off campus, and then obviously like we have a community at Athletic Garage, and so I see my friends all the time.
Nice. What is a way that you like again, doesn't seem like you have a lot of time, but you do make time for your friends. So what is like something you like to do with your friends in your free time?
Get coffee.
Like, wait, what are you going to do when you give up coffee?
Get matcha.
Okay.
Yeah. I love driving my friends, and so we're always like, do you want to get coffee? And so we'll just hop in my car and we'll go.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. People are like, let's grab coffee sometime. I'm like, sure. I'm not going to get coffee, but
Hot water.
I like dated this guy one time and he's like, do you want to go to Starbucks and get some hot water? I was like, yeah, okay. There is other stuff. I mean, sometimes there's different kinds of drinks I'll get, but what I really like is it a golden latte? It's like something they make with like turmeric and honey. It's like a drink. It's sort of like a latte, but they don't use coffee, and it's like turmeric and honey and like cayenne pepper. It's kind of like a spicy, like steamed milk.
I've never heard about that. Yeah.
It's so okay, now I'm remembering. It's called either a golden latte, is that with coffee in it, with like an espresso shot or something, and then a golden milk is kind of like a steamed milk, or for me, like I don't drink dairy milk, so I drink like almond milk and stuff. So like a steamed some kind of milk with like turmeric, honey, cayenne or pepper. It's like kind of like a little bit spicy. You're so weirded out. You're like, that sounds so gross.
No, I want to try it. No, I want to try it. Yeah.
Okay, look for it next time you go on like a coffee hangout with your friends. Look for, pretty sure they usually call it like a golden milk or a golden latte. What about decaf?
That's what my friend suggested me to do.
I'm not necessarily suggesting it. I'm just curious your thoughts on it.
I actually haven't tried decaf.
Oh, you've never tried decaf?
No. So I just went from having coffee to this week, like, not as much coffee,
Okay.
I would say, but I've never tried the decaf route, but I think I will.
Okay.
I think
that's
I will.
interesting. So that's very fascinating that you didn't even think about trying decaf. So I did start out drinking decaf first, and it was better. It was not as many symptoms. Later on in life, I realized I still have a lot of symptoms from decaf because decaf still usually has a little bit of caffeine in it. It's very small, but I'm very sensitive, so I'm much better without it completely. But if you're transitioning, I would say, definitely go to decaf, or even do like half decaf in the beginning so you can like ease, kind of like how you ease yourself back into dance from an injury. You can ease yourself off coffee. Like maybe just don't go cold turkey since you like have so many classes and stuff.
Yeah, I realize that. I'm like, I really can't do that right now. Maybe I'll do it over break.
I know. I'm like, you might not be in the best place to go cold turkey and be taking naps all over the place. So like maybe we need to do half decaf. I feel like I'm like about to put you on like a plan. I'm like, let's have like an accountability.
It's my resolution for this year to get off coffee. Not completely, just like a little bit less.
I think you could even get off of it by then. Maybe by the end of the year, you won't even like want it. Like, I don't even like this anymore.
That'll be definitely different, but I want to be open to that.
Do you have any other New Year's resolutions?
Take more dance classes.
Okay.
Want to incorporate dance even more into my life, even as I get a little bit more busier. And I'd say spend more times with friends and family.
Nice. Do you stay with your family on the weekends?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I'll come back for a couple of days during the weekend, but I'm trying not to do that as much this semester.
I was just realizing, because I'm like, oh, you said you come out here, because LMU is like on the west side.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wait, she drives all the way out here? No, you're from this area, and then you kind of stay with your family and stuff. That's cool. That's nice that you're like, you get to be away, but then you're still kind of close.
Like within, yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of like that. I was about an hour and a half away from my family, so I used to come back one weekend a month to work at the Starbucks by my house, actually.
Wow.
At the time, there was not a Starbucks near my school, and I wanted to keep that job, so I would work like one weekend a month at the Starbucks by my house, and then I would work at the Barnes and Noble cafe by my school, but they didn't pay as much, so I wanted to like stay with Starbucks.
Stay with Starbucks.
Yeah, weird times. You're taking me back. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, but I want to see if there was anything else. Well, I was gonna ask you how you incorporated rest time into your crazy schedule, but I feel like you probably don't get that much rest. Do you get good sleep?
I do. I actually do.
Oh, okay.
So I typically sleep, which is considered early for college students, but around like 12:30 on weekdays. and then I'll wake up
That
at
you go to sleep at 12:30
a.m.
That's considered early?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's considered early for college students, but I typically go to sleep around that time, and then I'll wake up maybe like 7.5 to 8 hours later.
Okay.
Which is pretty good, and I'm trying to get better at that this semester. And so just more rest time in general. Doesn't have to be like sleep oriented, but like taking care of myself too.
Yeah. What are there other things you do that kind of give you like a restfulness?
Just being like going to the beach by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's one of
nice.
like the best ways I take care of myself.
Yeah, just like being in nature. I need to do that more. I haven't been to the beach in forever, but just like, yeah, listening to the ocean. Yeah, it seems like you are really good at time management. You're like,
I
actually,
try to.
I do
I
have
try
time
to.
for my friends. Actually, I do have time for sleep. Actually, you're just like a time management pro. Maybe you'll go into like also coaching other people on that, because a lot of us really struggle with time management. Yeah, what would you say? Do you have any? I think this might be my last question, unless there was something else you wanted to talk about. Is there anything you're dying to talk about right now?
We covered a lot of.
Okay, we did cover a lot. I feel like we got through a lot. Is there any like advice or anything you'd give to someone else who's interested in dance or even advice to college? Do you have any advice for anyone? College students, dancers?
I think taking care of yourself is very important. I know we get so warped up into life and just circumstances that go on, but taking care of yourself and like mentally, physically, emotionally, I think that's very important, because I think a lot of us don't realize how much like not sleeping enough or not spending time alone with yourself, like how much that impacts your day-to-day life. And so I think that's advice just for anyone.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really great advice. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing so much about your life. I feel like I know you so much better now. And hopefully,
you for having me. Of
course. Okay, well, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe and follow and rate and review. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.